Okay, on the left is the stock solo seat that came on my Indian Sport Chief. Not really a two-up seat. And on the right is the extended reach Syndicate 2-up seat. So I'm 6'2", and the stock seat is not bad for me, but after about 30 minutes I do feel a little bit of something on my tailbone, and so I'm experimenting to see whether the extended reach seat will help with that. I would not recommend this extended reach 2-up seat for a pillion rider. It just doesn't seem that plush or that wide for a long voyage comfort and support. I think for a quick trip, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes on the back is fine, but it just doesn't seem worth it for a pillion to be on there. So really I'm just using it so that there's a little bit of protection when I've got bags strapped down from the sissy bar. That's mainly why I have it. So let's look at the measurements. This is not going to be very precise, but it might help some people out there. So from the wall to that stitching right there, we're about 1 foot, 12 inches or so. But it's not precise. I'm doing this one-handed, and I'm not hugging the curvature of the seat. And I will do the same thing here. It's basically 13 inches. I measured it earlier. Let's hold it in place. Let's see. Yeah, a little over 13 inches. So it doesn't seem like much, but that extra inch, almost inch and a half, is going to make a pretty big difference, I think. Okay, this is the original solo stock seat that comes with the Indian Sport Chief. I'll show you ergonomics. I am 6'2", evenly proportioned between my legs and my torso. Oh, and I added the forward foot controls with floorboards. Everything else is stock so far. Standard 6-inch risers with the standard moto bar, which comes with the bike. That's going to change soon. Okay, and I just put on the extended reach Syndicate 2-up seat. I didn't bolt it down. You can see the back is just lifted up a little bit, but that's fine. It'll still show you ergonomics for me. It might not pick up very well, but in addition to having more leg room, I feel like I can get my boots underneath the clutch pedal, and I can reach the brake pedal a little easier. But big difference is the arms. I am definitely stretched more forward. So if you are comfortable with the stock setup in terms of your reach to the handlebars, getting the extended reach seat, you are definitely going to want to have some pullback risers or a taller handlebar that you can rotate further that way to pull back the grips, because otherwise you are in an even sportier, more clamshell position. So when I first rode it with the extended reach seat. It was awkward. I felt like I was definitely hunched over more, but as with all things, you get used to it. I felt kind of like sportier position. I was taking the corners a little tighter. It felt good, but ultimately I am changing the controls and getting higher risers with more pullback and taller handlebars. That's what I'm going for, is more of that cruiser kind of aesthetic. But if you like that drag bar kind of hunched over sportier feel, then going with the extended reach seat is going to enhance that. Apart from that, my tailbone felt more comfortable. I wouldn't say that this seat is any more plush. It's pretty firm, but you definitely have more room. So that extra inch and a half does make a difference. I would say if you are 6'2", you'd probably be fine either way. If you are taller than 6'2", go with the extended reach seat. Okay, hope that helped.